What relative experience or experiences do you believe you have that will make you an effective congressman?
I believe my qualifications really are my experiences that I've had. I grew up in Tupelo. I attended Tupelo High School, graduated in '78. I went to Mississippi State, graduated from there with a degree in biochemistry. So I'm homegrown Mississippi. Tupelo will always be my center of the universe. But I did also go away, and I've seen how other people live in other parts of the country. I've had those experiences as well. I lived in Maryland. I lived in big cities like Baltimore, Washington area. I lived in Oregon for a year, and I lived in California, Northern California. Lived near San Francisco. Gwen and I came back home to be a part of change, to help make change in Mississippi, and also to be close to our parents. Our parents were getting older, and we felt as if they needed us. As far as qualifications in government, I don't have the qualifications some other candidates have. All I can point to is I've served effectively on the Lee County Election Commission for 3 years. I was elected to that post by the voters in Lee County in 2004, and I resigned in December to pursue this race. Having made that decision a little bit earlier, we decided to do that. I have some accomplishments in my field, in science and technology, with lots of papers and patents and so forth and all that. But I really think my qualifications are just, being from Mississippi, knowing how people live here, knowing what we need here, and being willing to pitch in and make change in Mississippi.
Great, thank you. What do you believe that Congress's role is in the economy? A lot of talk about the economy these days. How does Congress work to improve the economy, or what do you see the role of Congress there?
Well, the role of the federal government is really to set the stage, make sure the playing field is level for everybody. We have tax incentives. There are various subsidy programs that we may or may not like in agriculture and for various industries. We don't really have a free market economy. Many people think that we do, but actually many industries in agriculture, as I mentioned, are heavily subsidized. So we need to look at those programs and see if we need to eliminate some of them possibly, need to redirect our subsidies. One thing I've called for example, is eliminating subsidies, phasing out subsidies to the coal industry and oil industry and gas industry, and putting those subsidies toward renewable power technologies like solar and wind. So the government has a lot of resources that it can redirect. In addition, the government is as Teddy Roosevelt said, we in government are a bully pulpit, or we have a bully pulpit. We can set an example. The federal government can, for example, require new government buildings to be designed using passive solar technologies. Can be designed to have solar panels, solar water heating systems, for example. Many things like that don't really fall into the category of laws and regulations, but are just ways of setting an example. I do believe the federal government needs to invest in the technologies of the future, and I think our congressional delegation needs to work with state and local leaders to bring some of these industries of the future in renewable power, for example, to North Mississippi.
Great, thank you. The war on terrorism right now, the war in Iraq and in Afghanistan, what's your overall opinion of how that's gone, and what do you see for the future there?
Well, as anybody viewing this video will certainly know, I've been very public in my opposition to the war in Iraq since the very beginning, since before the war began. In fact, I believe the first time I spoke out against the war was in August 2002, and I have been very public in my opposition to the war, so I don't really need to go into all that. I think most people are pretty sold on this war as having been a mistake. We know now that the cost is going to approach $3 trillion. I mean, when I was growing up, we talked about government waste and inefficiency, in terms of millions of dollars. Then it became billions, and now it looks as if this war is going to cost America trillions of dollars. And it's very hard to point to any tangible benefits from this war. And you can point to lots of problems. For example, we have caused a whole generation of people in the Arab world to hate us. And those people have gone to Iraq and they have become terrorists. So we've generated terrorists where there really weren't any terrorists before. I guess the only good outcome is that we depose Saddam Hussein, who was obviously a brutal dictator, as everyone knows and would agree. The problem is there are many dictators all around the world, and why don't we go and depose all of those and replace those people? And the U.S. is not the policeman of the world. We can be a force for good, but it's not really our mission in the world to go in and police every country. So my solution to Iraq is to call the Joint Chiefs of Staff, get the new President and the Congress to work together with the Joint Chiefs of Staff to come up with a plan to withdraw our troops in 6 months or less.
Thank you. Healthcare, a lot of debate about rising costs and how that should be handled. How do you think, and what do you think the best plan is to handle healthcare?
Healthcare is one of our biggest issues that we've certainly highlighted on our website and the forums that we've participated in. I support what is known as single-payer healthcare plan, national healthcare or universal healthcare, as many people call it. The hallmarks of this plan: number one, it must cover everybody. We know how many uninsured Americans there are. 40-odd million of us are uninsured, and maybe another 40-odd million are underinsured. We need to cover everybody. That's what it means by national. Secondly, it must be single payer. Currently we have a hodgepodge of private payments, individual payments, state government payments, federal government payments. We need to simplify that. There'll be tremendous cost savings when we do that, so we need to have single payer. Thirdly, the program needs to emphasize preventive medicine. We need to emphasize prenatal care, newborn care, early detection of heart disease, early detection of cancer, those types of things, and also the benefits of a healthy diet and exercise. And last of all, we need accountability. I had an exchange with a young man in Aberdeen who was concerned about healthcare decisions being made in a distant capital, as he put it, meaning Washington, D.C. And I certainly share that concern. And I believe the solution to that accountability problem is local control. We need to make sure that we have local control of health care. And patients certainly always should make the decisions. Patients and their doctors, not insurance companies, not HMO administrators. And of course, in any national health plan, a system of private insurance remains for anyone to take advantage of. And national health care is not rocket science. I mean, other countries, in fact, all advanced industrial countries in the world have a national health care plan. Great Britain, France, Australia, even Brazil have national health care, yet the U.S. does not. And this is actually part of our economic problem at the moment. We need to achieve those cost savings through national health care. And Mississippi will benefit disproportionately, will benefit more than most other states from national health care. So I strongly support that.